Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Trade the Pool live stream today on Wednesday. No Michael with me this morning, but we will have a special guest, Stephen, joining us again. Welcome, Stephen. How are you doing?
Oh, doing great, Scott. How about yourself?
Brilliant. All good here. All good here. So we'll say everybody hi to everyone in the chat just right after this. All right, so Nolly's straight in there with a good morning and his pre-watch list there. INTC, AFRM, Oracle, BA, DocU, and maybe a TSHA or Riot. Okay, Nolly, we got you. Thanks very much. Great, Scott. How you doing? Welcome, Alf, as usual. All good to see you all, and welcome to Stephen. Stephen, what you got on your radar today? Stephen is on mute. Let's see if we can't bring him off. I'm sure he'll get off mute in a second. Not to worry. Any case, what we're looking at today, we are looking at the topic of Reddit IPOs tomorrow, flop or pop. So Reddit, I'm sure everybody knows it. It's a kind of social media news platform. It covers everything from gaming, and I think the question is whether or not Reddit on the IPO, which should IPO around $31 to $34. Now remember, Reddit was part of the crew on these meme stocks that went right. They went absolutely crazy. So the question is, I think, is whether that same crew get on the Reddit stock itself and, you know, make it go absolutely ballistic. That's my thing, is will it be a meme stock or not? So I think you might get that same crew going into that stock, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. But all eyes on that. That'll be very interesting tomorrow. What else we got? I've also got FOMC today. FOMC 2 p.m. today. So that, I think the index markets will be waiting for that as well. Obviously, always has a follow through push onto some of the big cap stocks as well. So if you're interested in watching that live, you can see it over in the Trade the Pool Discord. Tim will be over there discussing that and doing a bit of trading while that's going on or not. We'll see who gets involved, but head over to the Discord and take a look when FOMC is being broadcast over there. So for today, Nolly, what you got? EQIX as well. Okay, and I'm looking. Well, I've had a couple of trades already today. So I'm short hollow from a pop, and I toyed with TGL, but then got out because it looked like it was going to go nuts. So let's have a look. And TCBP I've done as well. Let's just check that that's still over. Yeah, so I shorted TCBP up here, very close to a sell side liquidity pool, and give me my perfect pullback into sell side. Steve, you back? You all good?
Hey, sorry about that.
That's all right. There. No worries. So yeah, TCBP short today from this $2 area. So I shorted from $2, $2.201, and I covered at 149. I was hoping to get a break below this and watch it fade off below 142 from where it came from, but it didn't. It held 147, got defended, so I covered there. So I made 50 cents on that. And Hollow, what do I have on Hollow this morning? Hollow had a short. That was a similar thing, benchmark play. I didn't wait for the pullback on that one, which it happened later actually. So shorted 6. Was it 590? Hollow 597 short on Hollow, and then covered at 532. And so I'm still short on a remaining position from that after that double top. So still short on Hollow this morning. We'll see if it can get down to the 520s area, and if it can break, that would be good also. So the question I asked you, Stephen, when you wasn't there, what is on your radar today? What's on your watch?
Oh man, let's see. I got a few things cooking here. I think that there's some interesting action setting up in a few different sectors. I think that because we're going into FOMC here, we have some rate sensitive stuff that I'm keeping an eye on. One in particular that was showing really strong reaction yesterday was Rocket, RKT. This one is on my focus list. Doesn't look like it's getting too crazy pre-market here, but once cash session starts, this is going to be on my focus list. I think it might run up into the meeting pretty hard. We are trading up through a major downtrend line. It came back in this big extension range, right to the 50% extension to the penny, and tagged it. So to me, it shows a lot of incentive to go up here if the conditions are met. Besides that, I think that I'm mostly going to be watching the indices here. I think that there's so many moving parts that'll kind of click into place with the information that we get today that I'm excited. I got my popcorn ready. This is my favorite day of the month. So. Not too many specific names. I can go through my list later, but I don't want to steamroll you. I like what you're watching. But yeah, really exciting day overall.
Okay, good. What you actually trade that session? Will you trade before it? Do you hang on and do it just after, or what? How do you play it?
So for scalping, I don't worry too much. If I see a setup, I'm going to take it. In general, into the meeting, I'm looking for a trend continuation. After the meeting, I like to give it some time to settle. Like I said, scalping's one thing, but I'm going to keep my hands and feet on the ride, so to speak, for the next, I'd say for the hour following the meeting, and then the trend should solidify for me.
Gotcha.
And I'll kind of see where we're at. Do you like trading this, or what's it like for you?
No, I normally sit out on the I think the small caps are normally kind of done by then for me. I'm sitting out of them unless there's a late day fade. They're not hugely impacted by the FOMC announcement, but yeah, I definitely like to let it settle, and then I look over at the Nasdaq, the Qs, and the ES.
Gotcha,
so that's what I'll be looking at later on today. So what else we've got? Hey, Hans, how you doing? Good morning to you. Hope you are doing well. So let's have another look at TSHA, what we've got on as well today. So TSHA, just looking out on the higher time frame, longer play here on TSHA, pushed up into a sell side liquidity. I think that was yesterday, and we're kind of double tapping that this morning, or post market and this morning as well. Didn't quite get to its buy side down here. But that can be aggressive the other way if it doesn't. So yeah, it's popped. It's on everybody's scanners this morning, and along with Hollow actually, which we know went from kind of $2 to $98. We'll see if that is just having a little pop and it's going to set up for any more shorts on that. So TSHA, yeah, like once, twice, 3 times, 4, 5, 6 times hitting this level, getting defended each time by the shorts. Post-market and pre-market around this 320 to 305 level. So we'll see if it can push and break. I don't have too much. Oh, yes, I do have a $4. I do have a $4 limit up here. So if we can push and close above 330, that would be good. Maybe for a gap play over there, 70 cents on that to $4. Let's take a look at what anyone's got in there. Let's have a look. Nolly, you've got Oracle, BA. Let's have a look at BA from the other day. We was having a look at BA. How did that play out?
Did they have some more news there? It looks like overnight, maybe.
I don't know if there's any. We know there was news the other day where another part fell off another plane. It wasn't a door; it was just a panel. Just checking if we got any more news on that overnight.
Feels like every day this week. It's almost comical. It wasn't so grim. Wild world. Yeah, this is interesting for me. I honestly, I'm not a fan. I'd still be looking to short this thing. Just obviously not. I mean, hey, maybe even right out of the gate. It's coming back a little bit after that drop.
Yeah, backside of the channel. Backside of the channel.
Any chance of a catch?
Let's have a look at the higher time frame. See what we've got. I mean, I didn't the other day. That's for sure. So I'd have to go. Yeah, no, when we called that level out the other day, that it was effectively a double bottom around that $177. If I'm going back further than that, no, I think we'd already be there, Stephen. To be honest, I think I'd be bringing this level all the way down. So this previous high would have one at 160, but so that's one that never come in from this high. So normally I'd expect that to work its way back down to grab, but it didn't. So that effectively chases up, and then again, right, it's going to go all the way up. So essentially, that buyer side liquidity is going to end up at that 177. I think if I pull that all the way over here, yeah, we're in it now effectively. So I don't have anything. We could push all the way down into these 160s. Don't see anything holding it other than that right now. Other than exactly where it is, right? Exactly where it is at this 177.
Yeah, pretty do or die spot there.
Yeah.
Was Oracle the other one we were looking at here? Because that's been quite interesting to me. Quite a setup going into this week.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's take a look, and you can walk us through what you've got on Oracle.
Yeah, I like these post-earnings gap-up setups. I'm a big fan of letting a stock make a big move, have the institutional money start coming in, and then, like 3 days, 2 to 3 days, I usually give it to shake out. And as you can see, this 1, 2, 3 days kind of was a nice consolidation pattern. On the hourly, yeah, just a really nice flag. And yeah, man, looking at this, looking back at this, I kind of wish I got in towards the end of the day here, or maybe pre-market as it was confirming over these shorter term averages and just lifting up out of this flag pattern. But now we're testing this horizontal level really nicely. I pull some lines there, yeah. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 pushes through, I would call this. In general, I really like 4 knock tests on levels. I tend to find that they have a lot more follow through than 3 knock setups. Just that 4th extra time to really cook that resistance seems to really like to push nicely through that. So that's on my short list for that reason. Focus list short. Focus list long, I should say. Yeah, I think that if it can push through the top here, it has some real distance on it. I was also seeing a lot of bullish flow on the 130 strikes all across the chain, but specifically weeklies. So in general, if price is pushing up while I'm seeing those orders, they're generally buys. And yeah, we're getting all the green lights going on this one.
Cool. Yeah, I think I had that about 128.75 that we kept dipping into there. Let's have a look here. Yeah, so I had that sell side, which worked a number of times. And then, once we've, that's a key level for me that if we then fail it, that I expect to see momentum off there. So like you say, post-market, pre-market, just kind of holding that. Any dip down would look to be, I think would be bought up today. Let's have a look, see what we've just got on. Tiny, I'll get you on Hollow. We just had a quick chat about that. Well, I'll see where it is in a second for you. Yeah, so I'm not sure it would come back and grab this, but based on its last swing, if it did want to pop down, it would be sitting there at 127.5-ish, 127. So
yeah, that looked good to me.
Got a little alert on Oracle for that. All right, so yeah, just a quick look at Hollow then. Tiny, I shorted Hollow this morning. Shorted Hollow off of a 604, thinking that this was just a kind of a bounce or like a backside bounce rather than a long, but you never know with Hollow just because what it done prior. So yeah, at the moment it is holding, that moving average that likes to be bought up based on the color play change on these 1 minute bars and 2 minute bars. I still have the buy side liquidity pulled down here at 540, which is where I took some off earlier, but I am still holding a position. I didn't actually get to add to it, but yes, went up to 587, so I'm still holding that, thinking we can get back down here again or lower. Else, if we do hold, we've got another test of the benchmark, and then I'd have to start cutting levels above there. I don't have much else above there other than this intraday benchmark giving its backside at the moment. So that's my analysis on Hollow. Great Scott Durham, DERM. So look at DERM. It's coming out here. All right, we got. Where have you seen DRM? I'm trying to see if I can see it on any of the scanners here. We got a catalyst on DRM today, or you just got earnings coming up in a couple of days?
It is very coiled up there, or down there, I should say. A lot of potential energy on this chart if it wants to decide to break above maybe 392-ish.
Ooh. Okay.
Could definitely run into earnings.
Okay, so yeah, we are in buy side on the daily. So pretty nice. I've got down to 250. But assuming, let's have a quick look over on the benchmark. Yeah, it is very cool for me to pick a level down here. It's actually, I've got so many to choose from. All right, let's see. Pre-market up at 426. I'm going to go with... So a lot. I think this. I'm not sure this is going to necessarily pop, given the price action on the way down. But the levels I've got are going to be between, so up to 560, 580. But first 448 and 480. Where's pre-market at right now?
Let's see. Pre-market is trading at 376 here.
Okay. So still a ways to go there then. So let's see if we're holding. So that's the ultimate targets that I've got, but it does have to keep on holding these buy sides. So for everyone that holds, that's obviously good news. Each of these there, and there have held. This one also the most recent one. So yeah, I think at the minute, given, so this is kind of 30 minutes we're looking at here. We're going to need a breakout of this one to the sell side. And this one here to the buy side.
That's a nifty little tool you got there. Well, what is that called? I'm starting to see how you're using it, but never seen that before.
No, that's I developed it myself. Yes, I've worked in the banks for about 20 years, so it's just something I've developed looking at the data over time, and yeah, I'm very much like that business kind of, just the investment banking business. Yeah, so it's not necessarily I'm going to put it to anything speculative. Like, more about what I do is about executing orders that you have on your desk from clients and where that volume goes. And if you've got program trades coming in, program trades, as you probably know, are, they're there. They've got an agenda. They always give the people that are in the program a better price to come back to.
Right. Absolutely.
And yeah, you can pretty much see it when it's happening. And so that's what it's pretty much doing, is identifying on a program trade to the upside where those better buy side levels could come in.
Okay, absolutely. So is this kind of volume based, like matching up as many orders as possible in any given range of price trading, so to speak? Like, so
if I had access to the actual underlying data and volume and speed of time and sales, it would do. But actually, this has to, as this is an overlay to, it's actually price is effectively pixels and volume is effectively an angle, right? That's all I can use to
okay.
So yeah, it's very, very hard to to get it to do that, but yeah, it's there now as best as possible, and that's what I'm always kind of using to judge. But it's definitely it's in its simple form. If the pullbacks to the downside are holding consistently, then we expect the move to continue up, and obviously the sell sides would have to fail and the buy sides have to continue.
Right.
So
very cool. Didn't mean to sidetrack you into the weeds there, but super cool stuff.
That's fine. So for now, we've got sell side holding, buy side holding. When they're both holding, that defines a range. I wouldn't do anything until one breaks out, and I think that's what we're waiting for on this one. So a break above and a close above kind of 390 for upside, and probably wouldn't worry about it. I'd let it call out to me on the scanners or something if it went below 357. It is just, like you say, tightening up around here after this. It's not necessarily over, is it? But it's certainly double bottoming in an area where I would think about considering something telling me to get long right now.
Yeah, I wonder if it might be waiting for the overall direction of the market too after Powell, just the way that it's coiling. I wonder if maybe we don't see too much movement today, and it might be more of a tomorrow type thing into the end of the week. I'm not sure what the situation with small caps are, but in general, it seems like there's a lot of calm before the storm going on right now.
So, well, as you say that, let's have a look at the NASDAQ then. So, NASDAQ I've had in this channel here for some time. It's probably on everybody's chart, I imagine.
Forever.
Just up and up and up. So,
up and right, fraternity, right?
Yeah. I mean, even even yesterday we tested it again. We tested it on Friday, we tested it yesterday on the low side, but it's not having the nice punches up that we were getting right at the moment. So just looking at it, we kind of got this going on as well, and tidy that up. So right now, I don't know what you see on that, or whether you want to share what you've got on the NASDAQ, Stephen, if you've got it on the indexes, what you think?
Sure, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, I've definitely got the same channel and the same downtrend line like you. I think in general, yesterday was pretty interesting. I think we got a double bottom off for me. What for me is a daily trigger at 435.19. There was also confluence with the big old horizontal level for me. In general, though, I mean, we're not getting the punchiness up, right? We have the moving averages flattening out. In general, this could be a topping process. I'm seeing a lot of things that are hinting towards distribution. Just the pushes down seem quite a higher volume often than the pushes up. And in general, I'm just seeing more selling occurring in this overall range. That being said, I mean, it's really hard to fade this market. We have a downtrend line that is breaking out to the upside. We are, we could have a lot of juice if Powell isn't overtly hawkish. I think we do have room to the upside. I never want to fade a setup like this, where it's breaking downtrend lines and pushing up on volume. For me, again, I'm mostly waiting and seeing, but I definitely have a bullish bias. I think it's probably the easy answer lately, right?
Yeah, that's the big bull channel we've been in. But you never know, right? I think I've got something similar. So again, when I say we get trapped between these sell side and these buyer side pulls, is where we are at now for me. So I'm definitely trapped in. All I can say is we've been spending more time over the last week or so down in the buy side liquidity pool, literally grabbing all of it down here. So this is kind of 3 levels that I have. Just grabbed all 3 levels here and again. And we spent very little time up in the sell side, which as far as liquidity is concerned, it is kind of reverse. But I'm just saying sell side because it, when it gets up here, I'd look for the shorts kind of thing. But yeah, you can see when you bring it down a level, sell side holding, buy sides are holding, it is just kind of trapped. So even though those intraday levels are kind of working out from the previous day's data, still see it as, this flat range that we've got, and can't get any real movement out of it. And we'll see if FOMC changes that. But that's the sort of thing I would look for, is for FOMC to maybe get a nice run up into this level, and then we play it back down again. But again, a close below either of these, and even this one today up at 340 on the NQ price, could see the gap filled up there up to what we got, 18,480. What about ES? What you got on ES? Similar?
Very, very similar for my levels. I just was noticing on my NQ chart. So Yeah, I'm looking for some pretty good expansion on Qs. I think this week that you, like you said, we haven't spent much time in the upper half of the range at all. For me personally, I just like to think of it like, in any price range, you'll have the equilibrium, which is obviously very key, but also there will be, roughly I use fib levels to approximate it, but these kind of areas on either side of the chart where price would kind of tend to spend time filling in the range if it were to kind of evenly distribute just volume in general. So I would expect it to come up here and kind of pick up orders to come back down. If we are, in any kind of topping process at all, I think that there's often a double topping type action. Honestly, I think that we could even get a blow off and really just ramp to the upside. But either way, I think that we probably need to spend more time up here to really make any meaningful push up or down, unless of course we just reject the equilibrium again. But in general, I don't know. It's really hard to bet against the market. I'm curious about your view on commodities and how they might be affected by Powell's dovishness or potential hawkishness. That's kind of what a lot of things I'm watching are contingent upon,
So yeah, I don't do fundamentals, Stephen, because they so obviously FOMC, the rate changes, they are going to change the fundamental part of the market. But generally I find when I draw those levels in, whatever happens, they pop to them, and what happens the next day just doesn't make sense to what has been said the previous day. So I don't get involved with it. I don't try and anticipate what it does. I draw the levels the same as I would on any other stock, commodity, or index, and if it gets to it, I look for the rejection and I play it, and that's all I do. I don't anticipate the what goes on in that realm. It's not my game, that one.
Right. When it shows on the chart, then it'll be valid, right?
Yeah, that's it. Absolutely. All right, we've got guys shouting out for TGL. Let me just take a quick look at TGL. Okay. So TGL is at benchmark 2. It's at the same benchmark 2 I've been playing with this morning. So I did short this, covered, literally I shorted 78, was it TGL? 71. Shorted 671 and covered it because I just wasn't pushing down to 540 where I wanted it to go. Kept double dipping into these moving averages, kept getting bought up, so covered it. Now you've punched above, and I'm guessing if I look at this on any other time frame, it doesn't look too bad. Like if I was looking at this if this come down now and I look back, thank you.
It's time.
Thanks, Gil. And we're off. So we'll look at TGL and see how the open affects it. But as I was saying, if we look at this, if it come down in a day's time and I was looking at this, I'd say, the benchmark 2 kind of held there. So we'll see what it does. But yeah, you're right. My confirmation on it would really be if it's going down, it's going to short, right? So my confirmation I like to see is this hold for a short. We've peaked above it, so I can't take that initial trade. Now, what I do know is I didn't come back for it off this swing, so that could be more aggressive to the downside, and we've got that. Okay, so for now, I have to bring this down, and if I want to get in, I need to see this hold, because if this fails, being at benchmark 2, it can just go supernova for whatever reason it might have. But sell side liquidity to hold at 762 if it can get there. I think it's going to fail buy side right now. So that would be, if we can close underneath that buy side. Let's just see now. So that is buy side. And where have we got to come from? So all the way to the high there now. We'd probably move this just across and a little bit down. So I'd like to target 535, and that would be for the day, not for the session. If we get higher, that's going to move up. That resting pool of liquidity is going to move up. So yeah, the fact that this has kind of had two punches up, this could be the fake out and get a drop here. But right now, this 695 level is key to holding, and whether or not we want to tap in and grab this liquidity. I'm sure there's plenty of people that have hit that short button after seeing the previous higher taken out and hold. So let's see if they get paid on TGL. I can't ignore the big caps today. Just a quick look at Hollow before we do. So Hollow, nice, that's paying out still. So I'm still short Hollow from this morning. That's getting close to target for me. I'll see how it reacts in this kind of 540 to 528 area. Just looking at your Rocketeer. So that's bounced off its lows. What are you thinking on RKT? Anything at the moment, Stephen?
Let's see. Pulling it up here. I was just going over my watch list. I bounced off of, looks like, the 50 moving average on the 5 minute here. It's starting to try to reclaim shorter term triggers for me. And basically these triggers are just basically roughly different effective or exponential moving averages that I find once they kind of align, you'll often get continuations on moves. So for example, yesterday there was an impulse move and it caught the 5 minute. And yeah, once the kind of 1 minute confirmed off of the 5, it'll tend to kind of go off to the races like that. So I'd like to see continuation of that pattern, and we can start moving into the higher time frames and taking all of these old stops on the way up. So right now it's looking fine to me. I'm watching the indices more to see where we're kind of at here. As you can see, we're pinned at the equilibrium of this pre-market range. I also have this major trend line. This actually is coming off of the October lows and tracing off of those lows to the next set of lows. If you just extrapolate that into infinity up and to the right, that's actually where we're trading into, and it's been very responsive the past couple weeks. So yeah, I'm watching that level here that we're trading up to in the pre-market, or that we traded up into in the pre-market. I'm seeing a lot of indecision and cash session here so far. We are at decision points here. There's a lot of confluences of support and resistance that are lining up. So depending on what it does in this little opening range will be pretty indicative for me. I'm a little scared. I don't want to do anything too crazy here before FOMC, to be honest. I'm going around the horn here, seeing kind of mixed bag. One that's really strong out of the gate is NEE. That is an, let's see, a utilities company. And it's a little bit of a red flag for me when a utilities company is breaking out of a months-long consolidation. So, money's kind of flowing into defensive names to some extent.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on that. Stuff like commodities like AA or gold miner type names, they are stronger than I thought they would be, which may be kind of a hand tip into the Powell stuff. But in general, not a ton of movement here in my watch list, honestly.
Okay,
seeing a little bit of heaviness out of the gate on SPY at least.
Okay, let's take a look. Let's take a look back at TGL for the second. I've got a feeling TGL, we got that buy side holding. Yeah, so here now, this changes. See, whereas you're thinking this is looking very short. To me, the break of this level here, and we are only taking out pre-market highs. So remember, there are shorts out there that love people that long pre-market highs. So my point is the sell side liquidity pool has broken. So generally, we would get some upside, but I say right now this is a 1 minute chart. We could close below, but the point is buy side held. Okay, so that is it. We did not flush through it. We couldn't get through it. Buy side liquidity pool held pretty much as it has done for, well, the latter part of pre-market, really. Every one of them has held so far. Now, I don't think I've got a daily above it, so I'll have to look back and see if there's anything else up there for TGL. And I'm not normally someone that looks left. I can look left because Michael would normally do the left looking. Let's see where we've got some volume up here. So yeah, I mean, if I'm looking left, I'd like to see it be a volume push. 12.30. Let's call that round number. 12 and 14.
One thing I'm noticing too is that on the big range from that giant gap up and rejection to the actual low is that we're right pushing through the equilibrium or the 50% of that range. So yeah, if we do see volume here, we can see a really explosive move. I'd be looking for like 10, 50, 10.
Yeah,
something
gotcha.
like that minimum.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I'd go with that. If we can hold above this sell side right now, pull back to it and go, that would be nice. So you see this swing here has come into the buy side pull. Now, everyone's going to have one. If we start to program on this, it's not necessarily this high. You've still got a momentum play that can just trigger there actually from the red turning to the green with these moving averages sitting right here. So that's kind of momentum, but you get another buy side pull. That one's done its thing. So this would move up with it. And we may need to get it or not. And that's the thing. If we don't come and get it, this push could be more aggressive on the next one if the buyers have got this momentum play coming in. And as Michael said yesterday, well, if you're saying that, why don't you buy it?
That's a great question. Reason. Like, yeah, I asked myself that many times. Back over.
Is generally, if I'm going to buy a stock, I want it to be a good one. And generally, they're when we're down at these kind of levels and they're coming from under $1.50, most of them aren't. So even though they do have their patterns and their spikes and their supernovas. But that's what we've got on TGL. So in a minute, I'd be more bullish at this point. But knowing those pre-market longs are fighting with those shorts that are just shorting that spike high there at the moment. But for me, I'm more long biased than I am short on that at the moment. Oh, do you know what? I said to myself, when I'm streaming, I miss so many trades that I would usually take from... if I wasn't streaming, that's not work, is it? It's works I'm looking for. So let's see how that worked out for me. All right. So I am short works, not knowing because I had a limit order in. I'm short works at 349, based on the fact that I'm retesting a benchmark that's held previously. And I've got a buy side liquidity pool sitting here. Now, I don't know whether this is going to play out or whether I would hit the button right now if I fancied it. But what I would be doing is taking this most recent high and seeing if we can't hold the very, very first swings sell side. Because if we can't, so we're right here right now. So once we held it, and if we break this, then I think Works has got more upside today. Well, that's the downside of limit orders.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm just getting some pretty notable flow indicators on Google. They are for weekly calls for the 149 strike. I'm definitely not saying buying them, but I'm watching the stock to see what the price reaction is. It pushed very strongly out of the gate, and now it's coming back, and I'm seeing these orders. If it continues to push up now that these orders come in, I think that they might try to ladder this up by the strike. And that would mean basically they'd be running it up to the 149 level to offload these calls in the money, and then likely getting the 149.50 or 150, whatever the next strike up is. So that is one that I'm kind of looking to lead the pack on megas today, since we're already seeing flow and coming in this early.
And do you actually trade options, or you just use them as a guide for the underlying stock?
I do a little bit of options. I do. I mean, honestly, usually I'm a futures trader, but. I do a little bit of options for sure, and a little bit of shares as well. A little bit of everything.
Good to hear. Same as me. I've not dabbled with options in a few years because I'm not allowed to do anything in whilst I've been working for the banks. You can't do anything. You can't execute outside of the bank's full stop. So that's been a shame. But yeah, options before I my first thing I looked at was options. So I do love options, but
You got the
Don't
bug.
think.
Once
Yeah,
it gets
yeah,
hidden.
it is. Yeah, but I've yet to see a prop doing that. So we're sticking with the stocks for the moment.
I
Sticking with
think
the
stocks are the way to go, honestly. You know, in most situations, options are fun, but you don't need the rocket fuel. A good system, and it'll compound.
Okay, so just looking over here at Tesla, this was my best execution level, and that was what I was talking about, Stephen, about just the where I expect those orders to come in. If we're currently sitting down here at the 172 area, if I had a bunch of sells on my desk, I'd want to execute them up at 174, and if I had a bunch of buyers, I'd want to execute them at 170. 80, very precise, but there or thereabouts. It's a little range around there. But yeah, that for me is sometimes a given as to if we hold one and then come down and grab the other straight away, that sometimes we just do nothing for the rest of the session. We'll see how that plays out today. But I would always be tracking, following these lows down to see where we might get the sell side, because like yesterday, we run straight down on Tesla and then come back up and hit that sell side liquidity as well. So looking
it
at
looks like
Google,
it's going for it looks like it went to fill in the gap there now, and it may be catching on Tesla. Something I'll be looking for, but we kind of couldn't push down to the hourly trigger there. Now we're seeing some juice. Such a trappy stock lately. I don't know.
It has been.
I caught the move down, and then I tried to get smart, and held a little too long, and then woof, that 4% update. I got stopped out quick from that runner. So SPY is rejecting the 5-minute trigger there for me. We'll see if it holds, of course, but we had set that opening range, or in the pre-market, came and swept the liquidity to the downside, came up and rejected our trigger, and now seem to be wanting to negotiate a little bit lower. See if that sees any follow through.
Okay, Google, I've got working its buy side liquidity at the moment. It can go a little bit lower because I've ignored this wick right now. But yeah, still down at 148-ish for a push down from Google if it wants to grab anything higher. And at the minute, assuming we do push down and grab a little bit lower, I'd be looking for 149 as the starter to get to 149 to 149.30. And then, like I say, a break of either one of these can indicate more of a trending day on any of these stocks.
I love it when somebody with very or relatively different systems, when my levels align just about to the penny. Yeah, I'm looking for the same targets exactly, just about.
Excellent. That's what Michael said the other day. So if we're both aligned, then surely we should have a better chance. Well, we'll see. All right, what have we got? Well, VC, what are you saying here? What we got? Were you following the works theory of naked shorts hidden and shuffled around the body of the Caribbean? No. Stocks and tips, streets back for centuries, documented, try smaller size, allows for some play before maxing out a loss per trade, and ATR as a guide. Yep, I get you. That's a good point. BA strong. Let's take a look at BA coming back off any levels there. What was we looking at? So yeah, BA is strong coming out of the gates there. Where did I have that? Just there. Yeah, so if we can break and close above where this kind of level is, that would have been where I was kind of looking for, but it's not looking very short at the moment. So you just got these all the while. I just have these momentum moving averages hold. So I'm just looking for those guys that are taking the plays above each red candle until we get to about 5 bars, and then we kind of consider whether or not that's starting to be a bit rangy. Let's jump back to TGL a second. Nolly looking at AFRM. It's long, but the markets are not.
TGL is interesting. Oh, I'm sorry. TGL is interesting because on that 50 fib that we had mentioned, it broke above, it back tested it exactly, and now it's trying to push off. So might be seeing that push up if we see the volume coming in here for me. Acting pretty healthy.
let's see what we've got here. So this is, so it didn't come down for this buy side, broke the sell side. So the fact that it didn't need to come down at 738 is more aggressive for me. So all we need to do now is keep breaking the sell side. So that's where we are right now. So just keep breaking that sell side. For me, is confirmation that we're going to keep to the long side. As soon as I see one of these sell sides hold, and so this is negated, right? So now have the buy side moving up with that new high, I imagine. Let's see what we've got now. Yeah, so that's tracing up just a little bit there. So we can come down to the buy side and hold and then break the sell side, or we can just break the sell side. Either or, it doesn't matter. Every time it doesn't come back down for sell side, you generally get a bigger push from the break of the sell side there. Okay, so works, I'm thinking out. Let's see what we've got. $4. Okay, there's a good reason not to limit order when you're streaming. That's short at 350. But we've got some action coming in on the round number, so we'll see if it doesn't push down there. Where would that be? So from this push up, if I had anything else up there, my target would be down at 345. Obviously, that doesn't mean it is. I don't have a benchmark at this level, so
for me, that 382 level is kind of important. I would like to see no major candles close over that. So let's see. Yeah, I'd like to see the 5-minute wick back below the 382 level if it's gonna roll on us here.
Gotcha.
Definitely sell pressure on the 5-minute candles though.
And is that going from a previous high, Stephen, or you just looking? Is that the pre-market high you're looking at, or?
Let's see. There's a combination of factors. The biggest factor for this particular indicator is fib levels from the previous trading day.
Okay.
That's I believe the structure is based on like the skeleton of like Camarilla pivots, I believe they're called.
Oh right, okay, I got you.
Yeah, and then there's some other stuff under the hood there. I have a friend who whips up some gadgets, and I'm the crash test dummy, so to speak. This one that I'm trying out, it's pretty effective. I like it when his algos line up with my older school style.
Yeah, gotcha.
A little confluence there. So yeah, we are seeing a rejection from that 382 level on works, at least for now. Obviously, starting at 1-minute candles here. So
okay, so AFRM got a benchmark sitting right there, first level in there. We will have one. There's one up higher
as well.
Where's that go? What did I lose there? I think I've just thrown my chart down the bottom here. Bear with me a second. I know my chart's there somewhere. No, that's not you either. All right, I'm going to hand it over to you, Stephen, while I fix this out. You can show us what you're looking at for the moment.
Sure thing. So, SPY here. I'm just still watching the indices. I really am trying to get a beat on the market here into this pretty important data. So we have this pre-market range that we've been trading into. In general, on these ranges, until the range breaks, I'm looking for price to sweep up into this 61 or 62 to 78 pocket. And then it did, and then I'd be looking for it to swing back down. We can flip this fib back around, and I'd be looking for it to swing into this pocket on this side. So as of now, I'm not seeing anything to indicate a range break yet. We are seeing consolidation in this side of the range, so ideally I would like to see another push up and a sweep of the morning highs, and then we could renegotiate up in the top half of the range, whether we want to push higher and break it or just revert back to mean into the meeting. So for now, I'm seeing more incentive for the market to go up here. That being said, we're trading under my key pivot, so I'm not getting any clear indicator. What I would like to see is a pop and a catch, and we can start building constructively. And it would flip these shorter term triggers. Till then, I could be looking to short, maybe off of 515.50, a pop above that. But for now I'm just waiting and seeing what plays out here. I'm looking at semiconductors to kind of lead the way. They are trying to catch here, and I'll be watching a flip of this 218 level. Pretty important for SMH. In general, things I'm seeing strength in are utilities, a little bit in chips, a little bit in kind of materials and commodities names, but honestly, everything seems really, really pinned for the most part. A little pullback in some tech and energy stuff. I think the market's kind of holding its breath here too. Palantir has an interesting flag setup playing out here. See if there's anything on the higher time frame. A lot of compression still, a lot of decisions to be made. Marvell is one that I'm watching because it is traded down really hard off of its highs, back into what should be decent demand down here. It healed the chart all the way down from this gap up, and I think it's flushing out the last of the longs here. I'd love to see a catch at this 63 level that's kind of rising here, this weekly trigger. Should be some really nice support coming in there. So this is one semiconductor that I think could see a nice push if the market isn't rolling. A lot of juice for this one. Let's check out NVIDIA though. Whew. Wild morning already. Pushed and swung, took all of the stops from pre-market, blew it off, coming back and consolidating at the hourly level now, and now it's negotiating that. Not looking incredibly bullish yet, but let's see if it can reclaim this and start working its way back up.
Okay, looks like we've got a halt on TGL. Thanks, Tiny. Halted right into that buy side liquidity pool here. So that was the kind of warning for us when I said, to continue on up, we need to push above that sell side liquidity. It held, which is, if it's the high, like I said, I didn't necessarily have a level up there myself. There was a look left level there, I think, or is that? Yeah, there was a look left level there, and held. That's the confirmation of the short, and that is the drop. But like I said, that's why that is my first target at 760, because if you're shorting 836, this buy side liquidity pool could hold. So we'll see. No one likes short halts. No one likes halts in general, but long halts, if you're long, aren't too bad. But as soon as you see a short one, generally you're trying to cover and scramble those positions out as you can get it. So we'll see what happens there. That halt was at 50 minutes past the hour and 39 seconds. So we are looking to resume very shortly if that's going to be a 5-minute circuit breaker. Works seems to have rejected off. It took another look up there, Stephen, and then now is way under there at 358. Okay, so we just opened on halt. You can see it now pushing below that buy side liquidity area. So we're going to just give it a second. See if those buyers do come in. This is the area on these moving averages that they like to come in. They'd normally wait for a 1-minute color bar change. So let's see if we get it.
Just like usual, Scott, I got the same 712 for me is where I'd like to see a catch, and it is for now. Putting in an attempt at saving that. Doesn't look ready to take lows a day yet. Interesting.
Okay, let's see what that does there. So that's going back to why you can't, why don't I long the small caps, is because I feel more comfortable, funnily enough, shorting this kind of 840 area, even though I can see all this upside. and a buyer here, if there was a reason to, if we got confirmation, I just worry more about that than shorting into the highs of these stocks when they're running up. But just burnt in since I've finished up. So we'll see what we get there. Let's quick look at Works. What's we got going on in the chat? NVDA made the reverse to the upside, mate. So thank you. We'll have a look at NVDA.
Oh, did it? Nice. So yeah, it did flip the hourly 886.69. Now it's back testing that right now, so I'll be watching pretty closely. It is still rejecting the 1-minute trigger and 30-minute triggers for me, so shorter term momentum is still to the downside, but it does look like it wants to hold here. We'll keep an eye on that because I think there's a lot of implications for the market at large.
I got you. So yeah, so Works does look like a bit of a. Let's have a look. See what I've got on NVDA. Works does look like it wants to go a little bit lower here.
I'd be watching around the 3.4 area for a catch. Maybe 3.5 round number, but
I hope so, Stephen, because that'll get my limit order back into profit.
let's get it. Let's get it there.
By 10 cents, yeah. That'd be great.
Oh, that's the pit of your stomach feeling. You're like, I had an order in? Okay.
Yeah.
Right, I guess.
Yeah, I thought that was a good idea this morning. Never
Better
mind.
than a second cup of coffee.
So what have we got in? Yeah, looks good. NVIDIA for that. There's best execution sitting there as well. You can see that at 903. That's very nice indeed. Looking from London setting up that price by the looks of it for certainly for the top side there and close to the bottom side. So
wow, Geo, quite the push. This is a private prison company that's just making a major breakout. What an insane chart. I was gonna get in. And it's just a rocket at this point. Yeah, don't bet against prisons, apparently. Seeing strength in ARM, interesting. Gonna keep an eye on that with the SoftBank lockup kind of starting to shake out and get out of the way. I think that people may start dipping their toes in again. I'm looking for semiconductors that haven't gone parabolic already, basically. And although, as I say that, it did have a 100% move a month or two back, but in the semi, it's kind of cooling off, right? So
it is a little bit.
It's one that I'm keeping an eye on here. Just if this rally extends, I'm thinking, where would they slosh money into? It's gonna be hard to keep pushing SMCI and AMD, but I guess that's cooled off too now.
All right, Works is very volatile now. It's just not having it this morning. We're up above 390 again. Just this is a kind of make or break now. I've kind of held enough.
Whew.
Let's have a quick look what I've got on Works. So Works for me is, what have we got? So if my bias was short here, this would be the level I'd be saying I'd want to get in at, or if I'd missed the initial push, or if I was ordering that I might want to add. But like I said, this is not my level. I like to be doing this when I'm at one of these benchmarks. But like you say, if that's the high of the day, you can still do the same pattern, but it's being very aggressive at the moment. Oh, this was buy side, wasn't it? Again, didn't quite come down and grab that 344 as I would have preferred, which can indicate more bullishness. So just ready to cover this time, because if this goes, I'll just put it down to experience on using limit orders while streaming. Not a good idea.
Yeah, if it pushes up meaningfully above the 414, that pre-market high, or not pre-market, that was yesterday's cash session high, then yeah, it's gonna be pretty scary. This is it's interesting. This orange band here is technically supposed to be resistance, but it surged into that pre-market and now has actually flipped that zone to support. Noticed on really strong tickers, that kind of is a common look. That being said, we could still see a double top, or it could just be forming a pennant, making lower highs, higher lows, consolidating. Really watching this 382 here. Oh, AA is having a good day, 2.5%. Aluminum is it's been lagging the other big breakouts and stuff like copper, but it is very, very coiled. That's one I'm keeping an eye on. Fake breakout, then shook out to the downside too. If there is a bullish move in commodities, I think this is one that has quite a big way to catch up. On the weekly, still very, very coiled. It's on my watch list for swings. Oh, beautiful. Okay. Don't you love it when you switch back and your crayons are being followed exactly? Oh, that's feeling in the world. So yeah, what we're seeing here is that's what I was looking for these short-term moving averages to basically get popped, and then it catches them there, and now it's off to the races. Hopefully, won't count my eggs yet, but cooking this this equilibrium of the range that we had set in the pre-market. So this looks bullish to me. They loaded up a lot of orders in this this golden pocket, so to speak. Now I think they're going to start trying to offload those into high day. And if buyers keep on coming in while they're selling into that, then they can look at pushing it higher.
Gotcha.
Very nice push on it.
TGL looks like it's broke the buy side liquidity, and Tesla looks like it didn't come. I was looking for a short up at 173, kind of 50 area on Tesla. Didn't quite get there. So now I'm kind of looking for it to get it to that 170.80. That would be, like I said before, the best execution, top and bottom side there. And then I'll have a look if anything else is in play. Quick look at NVDA before I jump back to TGL. Okay, so NVDA done that play that I would look at on the small caps, which is to confirm, if we are going to push in the other direction, the first thing it has to do is hold that buy side liquidity in order to push higher. Tesla didn't get this level, but see if Nvidia does the same, or whether or not we are. Actually, we've got another level here now that's been put in Nvidia. Just tapped into there on the first side. Can go a little bit deeper if it wants. So that's what I have on Nvidia. If we get above the 8 level,
Scott, are you there?
Yeah.
Oh, I see you moving now, at least. Sorry about that. I think I lost you for a second.
Okay, am I back?
Yeah, sounds great.
Okay, yeah, I dropped out there. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Okay, so works. Another pump up to 420 there.
Oof.
Another pump up to 420 is really making me sweat at the moment.
That looks like a stop
the internet goes down. Yeah, that does.
So it swept those highs from yesterday cash session and showed an immediate strong reaction to the downside. Now it's trading. It's kind of getting capped to the upside at 382, I think, as it surges higher. We'll see. But for me personally, that is what I would look to see, or what I'd like to see if I was short. Obviously not as it's pushing up. It's terrifying. But
yeah.
But that's a bearish 1 minute close at the very least. Especially with SPY kind of pushing up.
Yeah, I think I didn't want to see that, and I did at the same time, but we'll see. For 412 remains my key level now. But at the minute, all I can see is coming back every time. VWAP play now holding again. We'll see if we can't retest that wick up there around 410, 412. TGL, yeah, below that, that was the beautiful sell there on TGL. As soon as that hold up there at 833, we're now bang straight through target 1 after the halt and pushing down. Let's see. So yeah, now whether or not this will be a momentum play all the way down, but that target's down there around 535 for the first target on this one. So we'll see if we can feel that pre-market action, because that's where we was kind of working through. If we was on anything looking at where that would be thick price action in the market, as opposed to this sketchy area, which should be easier to scan through from $6 down to 520.
Yeah, I have the exact same 5. You said you were looking for about 530 to 535 ish.
Yeah.
Yep. Same here.
Cool.
Wow, AA is just off to the races. So interesting seeing commodities this strong. Gold very strong. It's my FOMC hedge, so I'm getting roasted on those, but I guess that's what a good hedge is supposed to do.
So Jerry V's working out at its sell side at the moment. So backside play. Backside play on that.
Sorry, I'm just noticing the breakout in the last minute here is MRVL. That's the laggard in semiconductors that's seeming like it's getting off the mat here. So I'll be looking to see if it can flip and hold this 5-minute moving average while the 1 catches up. And I'd love to see 65 basically back test. So when I'm watching for a swing, it's got a lot of room to the upside, and it had some good flow on, I believe, 80 strikes for June and 70 strikes for April. Decent chance they're going to put in a risk reversal here. Sell puts and buy calls. I know it's no fun to look left, but I do like finding the confluence on setups that have the higher time frame order flow in our favor.
Yeah, no, from everyone I've spoke to, it seems as though they, some profitable traders make money. There's nothing against looking left. It's just, like I said, I think speculation is different from, the order of business that you have to conduct on a daily or a per session basis. It's completely different thing. And like if you have a look as like when everyone mentions the big boys that are at play, there's actually more retail traders in the Nasdaq at the moment than there are big boys, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, so it's just the fact that those big boys are all aligned on what they're doing, whereas the retail aren't. We're all doing very different things. But I think looking left is probably one of them that all retail traders are doing. So yeah. It's all good. Whatever puts the profit in the account is all good.
Yes, sir. So I'm curious. Would you be in the camp of traders that would say that the rise in prevalence of 0DT trading is impacting market movement overall?
To be honest, we've done same day trades forever. Like literally, if we're doing like repo trades or any of that business, if we need to do a same day trade, we'd do a same day trade. I think the fact that it just becomes okay, the standard is a different thing, but underlying there, we move from T2 to T0. I don't think there'll be much of an impact on it because those that need to do it already.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Fair enough. Yeah, one thing I think that I've noticed is this strong incentive to get these like infinibids, as me and my friends call them, where you'll start to see the algos kind of catching and just ramping, and usually it'll turn on about the last hour and a half of the day or so, and it's just like, nope, we're not going. It's like plunge protection team comes in and just everything just starts getting bought up every single dip, and then you just get these kind of ramps where you know, as it's coming out, like right here, it's like, is this a bear flag? And then it just keeps on ramping and ramping.
Yeah.
And I have some smart friends who are trying to explain to me how it's basically zero DTE flows coming in that are very, very supportive. Oh, now we are seeing some pushback from the equilibrium here. I'm going to watch this pretty closely.
A big 30-minute candle there that's not seeing any green on the Nasdaq as well.
Yeah, definitely a lot heavier, especially with this morning's price action where it ran the stops of the pre-market high and then just dropped like a rock there. So a little worrisome for bulls. SMH is kind of looking droopy. So I figure Nvidia is still negotiating. Yeah, still negotiating that hourly trigger. I'm getting more Google Flow pings too. Okay, so it came back into where I would expect it to catch this golden pocket they were loading up. I do believe that it's going to try to push here, and if so, that would mean those calls are buys, which in general seems bullish for the market.
Yeah, I guess those letting that 30-minute bar play out, looking to see the break of that low there for what, 245 on the Nasdaq. GOV not seeing a whole lot of aggression off of that pop in, so I'm looking for a short if I can possibly get it on GOEV around this 290 area. It's a double top at the moment, so I couldn't actually say that it's that lower high that I like to get at the top here. So just waiting to see if I can't get something on that work. So I had to get out of that, unfortunately. So we'll see what that does. But no more limit orders. Huh? Let's have a quick look at Tesla. See if we got down to that best execution.
Oh,
so just a tad off there, 170. So everything's just a tad off for me today. 12 to 80, 23. What do we just go above here? 74. Oh, literally, what it went above, it didn't go below for me. On yeah, I think what it spiked above, it didn't quite push to below, give or take a couple of cents, but never mind. Yeah, I think coming into this time of day, now that's done, I'm not as confident taking that pullback. Let's have a look.
Tesla's in an interesting spot for me for sure. This hourly trigger seems very, very responsive. This 170-150. So for me, it does seem to be wanting to negotiate higher here. Kind of good sentiment indicator for risk on, risk off too. Would be nice if it could catch here. Nice for my calls. Oh, and SPY caught. Very nice. Very nice. So it dipped back. It tried to negotiate the equilibrium. And basically the market said, oh, we're not really quite ready. It's over. It's trading at a premium, not trading at a discount. Not quite ready. But then when it traded at a discount again into this golden pocket, it was immediately bought up. And now seems to be getting bid at over the equilibrium of the range in general. Constructive, I think. If it can hold it at least.
Let's check that.
Hood with a nice push off the mat. Nice to see after the beatdown yesterday. Yeah, real nice move.
Yeah, it looks ES is definitely eaten up that red bar it put in the last 30 minutes, whereas the NQ is just acknowledging literally the lower 20% of its Okay, so is Tesla acknowledging that 72.62 area? I would much prefer it come up to this one. Let's have a look. Just looking to see if I can see anything on Hood.
Yeah, for me, Hood, it's trading back into this big old pennant that it's formed the past couple days. And it seems to be holding a horizontal level I have at 1720. To me, it looks pretty darn constructive still. It's kind of loose the past week, but I mean, I'm very bullish on this name over like a month to 3 month horizon or so. I think that has a lot of catch up room with the other guys in the crypto scene. If we pull coin over it, oh, it's kind of caught up, hasn't it? There was a bigger divergence here. But yeah, I'm looking for payment processing names, continued strength there. So another one that I'm watching really closely is Square. Once it stabilizes, I think it's got a ton of room to the upside. More of those Google calls are coming in. I'm gonna take a look at those too.
Thanks, Meow. I'll take a look at that. So Hood. Hood, I've got benchmarks up right, kind of tapping in now at 17 to 1790, and I've got 1855 to 1860 up there.
Let's see. Are you showing your screen there?
Oh, my bad. No, I'm not. Thanks, Steve.
Curious to see that. Okay, nice. Once again, very similar levels for me. Love it. Confirmation.
Love it when a plan comes together. Yeah, so I think these are the levels that when we were speaking with Michael that I've drawn about. So that one was very, very close. I don't know what would be. Oh, that one, I guess. I'm drawing all over the place as far as I can see. I do. Sometimes I take my candles off the charts and draw some lines on and see how good it is, because it's like, yeah, they work.
Yeah, anybody who says TA doesn't work, they're not looking hard enough. That's all I have to say to that.
Technical analysis is yeah, like you say, if you trade what you see on the chart, it's all good.
Yeah, so many traders want to be fortune tellers. I'm fine trading what I see. Being a trader, it's a lot easier.
I like to trade what I see when it gets to somewhere where I think I'm going to have some help.
Yeah.
So look at GOVE.
Oh, GOEV, I see.
Yeah, nice. You're right. Confirmation right there on the short for GOEV. So first target on that, is that a new high? No. First target on that would be 270. Just check where we've come from. Yeah, I'm comfortable with that. Wouldn't particularly want to go anything too much lower than that, unless it really was showing me an, or classic all-day fade. which would get us down to 220.
Yeah, I've got a level at 284. That's confluence between a 5-minute and a 30-minute trigger, and then one at 278. But if it loses that, it could really cook down to the 255-ish for me.
Cool. All right. What else are you guys looking at in there? You got any other big caps you're looking at? So let's see. So Tesla held that sell side very nicely. So now we're off the lows. I'm going to see if we can't get... Actually, that would have played that. So still not, like I said, could be slightly off on these best executions down there, but have had a put in a low. So now this is key for this level to hold here at 271.40. Obviously, you've got a double bottom there if it's there, but let's see if it pushes down into this 170.79.
Meanwhile, SPY pushing up. So definitely of note that Tesla seems to be bull trapping so far. Seems like overall still not done being weak.
All the while those sell sides hold, yeah. What we got there, just building.
Yeah, if you invert that, that's a nice base. I'd be looking to buy. Good old Nvidia breaking out, or at least trying. Just came up and kissed the equilibrium of the intraday range that it set after a nice base was built. A lot of loading up happening in this golden fib of ours, and now we're seeing expansion through here. Now we're going to look and see how it negotiates up here. I'm seeing a little bit of a volume pocket that I'd expect it to wick into, especially with the round number 900 there. So a lot of reasons for it to pop up here.
I think we're gonna rely on that again. We've got so yeah, there's that sell, and this is just what I've drawn in on Tesla the same, right? It's poked to that low, it's literally come in for that buy side. There was the sell side, we've now broken. You should see the gap filled up there to kind of 897 area. And above 900, right, wherever, you know, it's a fairly wide area because it moves down.
That's funny, Scott. I misheard you, and I thought you were pulling up Tesla. I was like, "Oh, what is happening?" I'm seeing we're losing.
Oh no, I'm saying the pattern is the same as what I'm kind of drawing. If you look at the buy side at the lows and the sell side that held, and then the sell side fails to fill the gap. If I look at Tesla, I think I've got exactly the same thing.
Yeah, it's uncanny how similar they are. This is a
it's just failed,
right?
It's
yeah,
it's
that's
just
the other
failed.
side of the coin.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If Tesla does exactly the same as Nvidia, it would be coming off of this pull here, breaking this one and heading up to this one. But Tesla's doing its own thing, so that's fine. It's new lows on Tesla. So this is 170.80 is where I think the best execution would happen, and then we'd have put buy side in, sell side in, and then we'll see what happens from there. Right now, buy side fails, so I would simply just be getting my new one from the latest sell side pull to the lows, assuming we get down to 170-ish. Just got the more recent one here.
And that aligns perfectly with my 5-minute and 30-minute triggers, which flipped to resistance. Love it.
There we go.
So, man, Scott, a thing of beauty, I gotta say. This SPY doodle I drew, I'm
show me. Hold on one second. Let's add you.
I
mean, look at that.
Out of that. It never works like that.
You
Never
got to
works
get
like
that. Right, you got to get
know.
that right. So, how far are we into the stream here? For the stream went on 1 hour 26. We'll get that caught up and replay that on high speed. We'll get one of the guys to do it and get that out on social.
Oh, that's funny. So yeah, it's going for the swing high, the pre-markets here. We'll see what it does when
Yep.
it takes it. Sure looks like we're expanding though. I mean, man, I wouldn't want to be short, so I'm not. Huge expansion on AA. This name is doing all the right things after a really mean shakeout. Like, holy heck, on the daily, I swung this from down here and I was like, it's happening. I was like, just kidding. But I think we're ready to get some pushes up on these commodity names. I would assume copper's doing well. Let's see. Nice daily candle so far. Beautiful. Yep. Yeah, these are starting to work. And we've done it. We've swept our pre-market liquidity. Now let's watch what happens next.
So you'd expect short after sweeping pre-market liquidity, would you?
No. Well, basically how I look at it is, okay, we have a range, and now we traded down into the range, but we couldn't break lower. We consolidated. Now we're pushing up strongly, and we're taking the top of the range. So if I were bullish, which I am on a higher time frame, I would be looking for consolidation here for another push up. So I'd be looking for basically price to accept up in this range.
Yeah.
I don't want to see any rejection here. If I see something like that, that starts to get scary and distributive. But I'm not expecting that. We broke the range here. We've shown an incentive to want to push up. We are seeing sellers are still here. There's, wicking happening. It's not just a crazy squeeze up yet. I mean, pretty good move though. So yeah, I would like to see this pull back a little bit, and I'd like to see this rising 1 minute catch up here, this 5 minute catch up, and then it would start to kind of build a constructive base for a move higher. That's kind of what I'm looking at.
Nice.
Wow, crypto having a day. Riot's up 7%.
What we got here? Yeah, he's having a good day. I saw that earlier. Yeah, everything was up. That's Nolly got Amazon short. Gotcha, Nolly. So GOEV is just at the moment currently holding its sell side again. So that's, like I said, I've got the double top, which obviously isn't a lower hold than that. And we've just held from this swing high to this swing low, this sell side. So I did just open a starter on GOEV. I'd need to get underneath kind of 290 if I actually really feel like I'm getting down to these 270 areas. So let's see what happens there. That's short GOEV right now. What did Tesla do at those lows? Okay, so now there's best execution at 170.80 area now. So I feel like that's job done in the first, it's slower than what it normally is, but normally within the first 30 minutes to 45 minutes, which has taken an hour and a half to get there. But yeah, sell side up here, buy side down here. Now we'll see if we come back for that sell side liquidity pool, and then whether or not if we hold that, we can continue to push down and break 170.80 to the downside, given what we've got coming up this afternoon. GOV just popped above 3. Given what we've got coming on this afternoon, I think we'd probably expect things to slow down going into lunchtime.
Another thing to keep in mind, I'm just realizing with GOEV is, oh wait, are they healthcare or are they an EV company? They're an EV company, right?
GOEV.
I'm just
No
thinking it may
idea.
be one of those rate-sensitive companies that, is going to care about FOMC and whether he's dovish or hawkish a little more than most companies. Yeah, they are a EV company,
Yeah.
or at least motor vehicles on TradingView. Okay, so SPY swept that liquidity like we're talking about. Now it's coming back and testing it as support. Would like to see this start to flag out here.
.06 is kind of the highest level I would like GOEV to go.
Yeah, for me, like line in the sand, I'd say probably is 315. But yeah, it's getting up there. It's starting to look like a flag break, a multi-day flag break, if it can keep pushing. On the 4 hour, for example, or hourly. For me, it's also kind of consolidating, coiling over its daily trigger that it finally reclaimed.
Show us that, Stephen. Sorry, I'll just add you. Go.
No worries. Just on the daily chart here, this big yellow line is the daily trigger. So each time previously it couldn't close above. We're basically here again, where we're at a decision point where it back tested it and it's pushing up. This time it got rejected pretty clearly, or last time I should say. But now we are in the same situation where we're starting to see supportive price action here, I'd say. On a higher time frame in general, I would consider this pretty bullish. But, obviously intraday, anything can happen, and this is where I would expect a rejection.
Gotcha. Let's see what we get.
Okay, now we're actively rejecting after taking the liquidity on SPY.
So it didn't work that level and hold on. Let me just check where you go. Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, still nothing too crazy in my opinion. Ran up, took liquidity, now we're coming back to equilibrium. Let's see what we do here. At 515.75. See, I've got utilities leading sector-wise. Healthcare and energy are doing the worst. Let's see. Yeah, utilities, industrials, materials are the strongest. Yeah, interesting dispersion there. The weirdest thing is seeing tech completely flat. Huh.
What's that, a heat map you're looking at?
Yeah, just a heat map of the market by sector, basically, for intraday action. It seems relatively risk off. Let's see. Take a look at biotech too. Ooh. Now we're starting to look like a blow off. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, Nasdaq. You got just above halfway of that candle.
Nvidia still looks healthy, to me at least.
So I've got Tesla at the moment working off of that best execution level down there at 170.80. Back to its sell side liquidity there. So just seeing if we've got anything else on it from this area here, or whether it wants to now range up further. Now it's hit that best execution up higher for the day. Up here at 173.40.
So you'd be expecting a potential reversal here at the 172.50-ish area?
So I think, I mean, I say at this level, but execution, you can
sorry, so you're cutting out there, unfortunately.
Oh, one sec. And I should be back.
Nice. Sorry about that.
No, it's my apologies. Not
I wasn't sure if it was on my side.
No, it's my side.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just saying I would look for rejection here. I wouldn't assume necessarily it's going to come up to that level.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, all the while those sell side holds and put rejection in like now, and they can close above the momentum and moving averages. For me, I'd expect it to just like keep doing what it's doing. It's just once they've done best execution, I can expect the pattern to change, and that either means we hold and we break and we trend down for the day, or we kind of come up and then just come almost all the way back up. So, pretty much up to this 173.5 area.
Okay, cool. It sounds like we're trading in a similar mindset of there is a kind of pull to a magnet, so to speak, and then once that is kind of alleviated, price is more free to do what it may do next.
Exactly. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Sounds
and yeah,
like
beautiful zone there. That's what I was seeing too. But your levels are a little cleaner than mine for sure. Just tapped it and.
Yeah, they just take the speed into account. Like if you're looking at a fib, it's kind of when you're looking at the high and you're looking to the low, the 50% is always in the middle, right? Whereas if the speed is here quite fast, or if the speed is generally quite slow, then that pool is going to be in a different place.
Right.
So that's why, you can look at fibs and say, oh, yeah, I've got the 38, the 50, the 68, all that. It's like, yes, but which one? And this is like, if you take into account the speed of the orders that come in on the tape, then that gives you more of an idea of where that pullback is going to be.
Very cool stuff. starting to click. I think that makes complete sense, though.
Yeah, it's yeah. I didn't want to just reinvent the fib tool kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's built in.
That's fib traders. We're dime a dozen out here, to be fair.
Yeah. Although to be fair, like the golden ratio when you put a zone in, it's like that's if like that's better than doing like the breakouts, unless you're completely comfortable, like you say, with taking those momentum trades and scalping that momentum. Then that's fine. But I don't like straight out breakouts unless there's a very, very good reason.
I couldn't agree more. I always try to get myself in the mind of a market maker, and market makers wouldn't trade breakouts. They're just
exactly,
collecting liquidity there.
That's it.
You know, sure, 1 out of 4 or 5 or whatever times they'll stick, but I'd rather play mean reversion 4 or 5 times and get stopped at once.
Yeah, with you. So I'm 303s on GOEV. I should have stuck with the big caps on the stream. I'm absolutely nailing the small caps pre-market, and then the live. Then to be saying, I don't know why I'm saying they've been doing it all year. That they literally, the pre-market has been the real nice, easy time to take those pre-market trades. And it's not so much that they don't work out, it's just what they do between 9 and 4 before they actually do work out. So that was my last chance saloon there at kind of 1050. If you drew 306, if you draw a channel in on that, it's not far off as well. We could move the channel out a bit or whatever, but if we do get a push above that, so it's not yet giving me anything to add, that's for sure. Gotcha.
What a trappy opening session there. Just launch pad, false start.
Yeah.
Equilibrium.
Opening queue. Oh, it really is. Yeah, it didn't come up as high as I thought it would come either.
Yeah, big weakness, right? Especially compared to, or even just compared to SPY.
Oh, I'll probably be on the S.
Wow, American Eagle pumping like crazy. AEO. Just saw a bunch of call flow coming in. I saw it came in about 5 minutes ago. It's just up and to the right. This thing's insane. So I wonder what the implications are for retail. Doing this on a data day. Very strong push. Can't really do anything with this though. It's kind of already done its thing.
Yeah. You'll be waiting a while for that one to come in.
Just gotta watch it do its thing. Rocket ship. Speaking of, what's Rocket doing? Constructive.
We've got 3 hours till Fed-ish. About 3 hours.
Yes, 3 hours. Still plenty of game to be played.
Where did works end up here?
At 382 level, still showing responsiveness on both sides of the tape.
All right. I'll be over at Liquid Vision Trades over there on YouTube for FOMC. If you're interested in future day trade billionaire.
Nice, may check you out. I'm probably not going to be trading too actively, but it's always fun to
Oh,
watch.
same, yeah, but just to watch it, yeah, just to watch
so much
action. Nice hindsight for you in works there.
What's it doing?
I said, nice bit of hindsight for me in works. You know, when I set my limit up there at 420 to be my last.
Oh man,
my last position where I couldn't work into it.
That's how they get you, huh?
Come on, 347.
Oh man. Yeah, these small caps, they're often just well orchestrated liquidity grabs, you know. It is tough to hold sometimes. Square's building a very constructive base today, I think. I think that maybe it needs another shakeout or two this week, but almost ready to start dipping my toes back in. The weekly chart on this thing looks just insane to me. The base that it's building and potentially trying to break out of. I think when it finally goes, it's got a lot of room to the upside. Talking like a break of 86, 85-ish could lead to 120.
Oh.
Yeah, I think this is going to make a really big move and build out a right wall in the next couple weeks. The strength in payment processing is pretty substantial. A lot of names like PayPal are also starting to make similar moves.
I always thought PayPal was so slow off the mark getting into, you know, not even in the crypto space compared to what the likes of Revolut are doing, and adding those, you know, ability to get into those, you know, put your savings into your stocks and that sort of thing.
Right. Yeah, I'm not that I know anything about fundamentals, but I'm not a fan of their execution. Honestly, it's It's been a painful stock to hold as an investment, I'll tell you that much. But
All
I
right.
do think they're still cheap if they can get their act together. It's a weird one. Gotta say, feeling like a Infinibid day. I mean, that kind of price action, that blow off on any other day, I feel like would have already kind of given out more, but just basing at equilibrium, it doesn't seem like they want to sell it much. Maybe I'm just early. Maybe I'm too zoomed in, but
It's a shame you couldn't have drawn that loop at the top and it coming down as well. Can we add that in?
yeah, we can put that in post. There we go. Perfect. Exactly as we knew. NVIDIA's still rejecting shorter term triggers, but as long as it's over 186 or 886, definitely over 186, hopefully. But yeah, should try to build out a constructive base. A little weaker on SMH.
So Tesla's did break that zone there. So Tesla, I think, is pushing up there now to potentially grab 173. Assuming it can get through that level, but yeah, that's kind of what I thought might happen on there with Tesla. So we didn't go for the trend down. We went for the kind of, not surprisingly, the sideways action off that today.
Yeah, it's good to see the risk on sentiment like indicator like that is, you know, resilient enough to sweep I guess you'd say buy side, the lower side of liquidity, and still get off the mat here, even with the decision.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting to see money coming out of NVIDIA there.
So NVIDIA didn't quite get up there.
Do you watch the bonds much on days like today?
No, I trade sometimes trade the ultra bond, but that's about it on the bonds for me.
Gotcha. We've just had such a wild slide in the 20-year in TLT. It's just been what, eight red days in a row. Pretty crazy. Finally caught. Keeping an eye on that. I think it's almost like gonna act like a RSI reset for SPY. When SPY was chopping sideways and TLT was falling, now if TLT can catch, I think it could provide some upside for SPY.
Let's see. Okay, so that's a foul. Look. No good small cap day for me today.
Nah, bummer that pushing up on you there.
Yeah, works all over again, isn't it?
Yeah, it's tough, man. Huh? Seeing some SPY calls getting bought in bulk. Nothing too crazy, but 1,000 lots of some 525Cs. I'm assuming, yeah, zeros. Could see a little bit of boost. So those get hedged.
Hmm. $330. I think Joey GOEV is going to want to take a look at 330. So 15 cents up there.
Yeah, as fib traders have a level up there, as well as a nice horizontal level. It's kind of where the initial major breakdown kind of sped up.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, I should have been a little bit more aware of the buy side pull coming out of there, actually. Thinking about it. Yeah, similar place. Mihai, yeah, got it. I've got 330.
That's kind of a line in the sand for me. Well, here I would say either it rejects or it's probably pushing for that minimum.
Yeah. My norm would be only to sell the sell sides until we get to the buy side, the resting buy side, basically. And what I've done today is sell the sell side after we've kind of used it already, effectively.
Yeah.
So we'll see what we get. Yeah, I think it's going to look up there for 330. We'll see what it does.
NVIDIA pulling back into our hourly trigger there. Should be pretty key into an hourly flip here as well. I'll watch what price does the next 5 minutes or so.
There's 330.
Wow, yeah. So it just took stops above yesterday's high, cash session high.
Joey V.
Yes.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah.
And in theory, it can just keep on going and take the pre-market highs from the day before that. Then
yeah, it's up there. I even pushed up to 390 on that. I had 360. It pushed 390. Off of the lows, I've got 4.
Yeah, that'd be like the target for the flag there, I guess.
Yeah. See what we get up at this 330 level, but that just looks like momentum can carry on right now. We'll see what we get.
Yeah, these trappy grind up bids feels like an infinite bid base. We'll see, but I think we might bid up into to data here.
All right. What time are we looking at? Okay, I think it's time to wrap my this is not going to be a good summary for me today. So I'm still in GOVE as we speak. So 330 is this last place. Oh, yeah, there you go. Sorry, forgot to do the intro to the segment. So yeah, GOEV 330 is the place that if I can see rejection here now, more than what we've got with this little tail, that I can try and add to this position to get it back down to the original target, like what Works has done. So that was GOEV, and then Works for me was another similar. Oops, let's get rid of that. Works again, a similar kind of play for me on Works, which was in. Where's the? That's not correct. That's my out. Where's my in? In any case, it was a 350 in because I had a limit order there set from the morning, and the cover there. Would you believe it? Right at the high today, and then it's come back for that target. My other play earlier was TCBP pre-market. TCBP. Let's see if that's still showing up on the chart. No, that's not on the chart, but it was a 201 sell. Let's have to bring it up on my one because it will be indicated of TCBP. So that was a sell there at 201 and covered down here at the 165 area. It's actually 151 area after we couldn't break that 147. So that's I've given some back today off the gains I made on pre-market, so not to worry. What did you get, Stephen? Anything in the end?
Let's see. In terms of active playing, I am managing some swings. For my AA here, I took some off at the 3060 level. This is my big kind of resistance. In terms of other swings, I still have most of my stuff cooking. I still really like NEE for utility exposure. Still like my Marvell. It's kind of doing what I'm looking for off the bottom. In general, I think commodities can really push up. Rocket also doing totally fine on the swing here. So not super exciting, but mostly position management for me today.
Gotcha, no problem. All right, Stephen, well, thanks a lot for coming on again. Really appreciate it, especially with Michael out today, so keeping me company. Thank you very much, and good to hear your insights into the market.
Thanks for having me.
No worries, you're welcome. I will catch up with the rest of you on Monday, and we'll look forward to the FOMC over there. Like I say, you can join me over at the Discord it is on, so you can head over to the Discord. If not, we will see you on Monday, same time, same place. See you then. Cheers. Bye-bye.